Cryptid Hauntings.
Hello and welcome back to Cryptid Hauntings. I'm Mike and I'm here with my siblings Chris, Pam, and Mark, and we have an unhealthy obsession with the paranormal and just the creepy in general. And today we're going to be talking to you about Bigfoot, Sasquatch, the skunk ape.
One of my favorite topics. I love Sasquatch. The Sam Squinch.
Sam Squinch?
Yep.
Sam Squinches?
Good old Bubbles and the Sam Squinch.
So I think we should start off this episode just as we're getting to know each other. We know each other, but you don't know us. So Chris, what's something fun about you?
I enjoy playing Magic the Gathering.
Pam?
I have met one of the only few people who have ever earned a Peace Prize, Martin Luther King Prize, and a Gandhi Award.
Who was that?
When I went to Northern Ireland.
Oh.
That's cool.
That is pretty cool. And as we discussed last week, I'm Mark. I am the hobby collector. Lately, my obsession has been leatherworking. We've been building all sorts of leather collars and fun things for the dogs.
You built a leather backpack.
Yes.
Well, I was going
It's
to
pretty
ask if
cool.
it was for people or for the animals, but you said for the dogs.
For the dogs. Gotta be fancy.
So I'm Mike, and I like to cook. In fact, I have a YouTube channel called Making It with Mikey, and you guys should totally check it out.
Glad we got a different shameless plug this time, but I'm glad we got a shameless plug.
I'm glad I could do it.
At least it wasn't his book this time.
Hey,
That's
speaking
later.
of my book, I'm writing a book called Epic of L, which comes out hopefully the June of 2026, and you guys should totally check it out.
The June.
It's so good you're sitting all the way across the table from me because I'd punch you in the throat.
He brought it up.
I know.
It wasn't an invitation.
No.
So Sasquatch, Sam Squinch, where do you guys sit? How do you believe in Sam Squinch?
How do I believe?
How do you believe? Because we all believe, but how do you believe?
He's real. I believe he's real.
Why? Why do you believe he's real?
Well, I believe there's multiple of them. Like, not just one. Like, kind of like different... trying to find my wording here. I have Hispanics, Mexican, I don't know, like...
So
different cultures, yes.
and ethnicities. So,
That sounded racist.
yes, it did, especially with
Hispanics and Mexicans. It's the same group, dude.
I know.
it's just a subsection of another group, but okay, so it's like different cultures,
Different
different
cultures, yes.
ethnicities.
You're talking
okay.
regional, so
Yeah,
like
different regions.
Americas,
Asia.
Asia.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Got you, bro.
And what about them?
Just that there's different ones. I don't know.
And that the
you're-
Sasquatch could fit in as a different one.
Yes.
So you're-
Okay.
You're
He's saying
claiming-
much like there are Americans and South Americans and Asians and Africans, there are Sam Squinches that fit into all those categories.
So you're saying because each culture has their own version of Sam Squinch, they must all be, of course he's true.
the Bigfoot.
The Bigfoot.
The
Yes.
Bigfoot. The Yeti. The skunk.
Yeah.
I think Sasquatch could be a real and literal thing.
I'm a believer. We'll get into that a little bit later, though.
I'm kind of in between. Like they could be a real thing. They couldn't be a real thing. I don't think, and that's my talking point a little bit later. There's enough evidence either way because we either have got individuals who are full-heartedly believe without full evidence, but then you've got like the scientific community who says, well, y'all's are crazy, so they won't look into it. So I don't know. I'm kind of in between. Maybe we need to do some more. I know my voice is off tonight. I need to lean a little closer. A little bit more serious investigation about the Sasquatch.
Okay, so it is argued, as Chris so lovingly argued that many cultures have larger-than-life apes or giants in their folklore and history. A lot of these creatures have different names, like the wild man or the hairy man. Many of the creatures have the wild man of the woods, who are covered with hair from face to toe. Many native cultures have a wild man that exists and have existed long before contemporary reports of Bigfoots, who are also known as Sasquatch. In July, we're going to jump straight into it. July 16th, 1924. There's an Ape Canyon report coming out of the Oregonian. This report is between some gold prospectors about a bipedal ape man near Mount St. Helens. The man is said to have the men had seen the ape man near their cabin and were saying that one man named Fred Beck said that he had even shot at the creature. Though investigators later found no compelling evidence for the ape man incident, this did become known as the Ape Canyon incident and would become the first of the contemporary tales of Sasquatch encounters. In 1958, journalist Andrew Gonzalez of the Humboldt Times highlighted a letter from a fan stating that he had found large footprints in the Northern California, and they had seen these and they were compared to the abominable snowman of the Himalayas. Because of their large feet, they became known as Bigfoot. It was that term was coined, and now in the North America, these hairy wild men are known as Sasquatch or Bigfoot. There have been multiple different names for the Bigfoot throughout the years, and the story grows, and the creatures related to the Bigfoot have taken names of their own. Names like the skunk ape, which is found in the swamps of Florida, Fuke monster.
It's the Fuke.
Fuke.
Yep.
Fuke. Monster in Kansas.
Arkansas.
Oh, Arkansas.
It's the Fuke monster in Arkansas.
And the big muddy monster in South Illinois. All of these creatures have roots in the original Bigfoot story. Many claims that that they are all relatives of the Bigfoot of Oregon, and may not actually be Bigfoot themselves, but are relatives of Bigfoot. There have been sightings of Bigfoot throughout the years, starting with the Ape Canyon incident in 1924, and with the advancement of technology, these incidents have been caught on things like camera for us to see today. The most famous is perhaps the one caught on camera by Peterson Gimlin. The film is about 3.5 minutes long. If you want, you can find it on Wikipedia. That's just where I found it. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube or many different places that show.
Yeah, if you just search
Most
for Peterson
definitely,
Gimlin.
you click on a picture and it pulls you to that Wikipedia site of the guy walking, or the Bigfoot walking across the thing. I've watched it in pretty much every version: fast, slow, split, upside down, twirled leftwise version that you can see the video. It's pretty interesting.
So the video, they were filming horses in a scene for a documentary that he was filming, and you see Bigfoot walk across the screen, kind of flop his arms and look backwards at the camera. He looks tall. Peterson described him at 6'7" and anywhere between that and 7'6", which is, I think fairly tall.
We've had the discussion about tall.
Well,
It is fairly tall, but that's also a huge foot discrepancy.
But take it as Reed is 6'8", so
Yeah, but the guys who were hoaxing this film weren't 6'8".
no.
They were average height.
They were average height. Like, unless they hired some Andre the Giant to come and
Just found some goo.
Just found
some goon. You look tall. Let's go.
How would you like to wear an ape costume?
We're gonna fool the world.
I know somebody who would have done it for $20.
For
Me
20
too.
Hey, $20 is $20.
Is that you saying if you were 7'6" or 6'7" that you would have done it for $20?
Hell yeah.
I mean,
So-
he would have been more excited about riding horses up into the mountains.
True.
I mean, also riding horses in a
Ape
ape
suit
suit,
up the
that
mountain.
would be, Planet of the Apes all the way. I don't know if it had come out by this time. Probably not. 58, no.
No.
That's where the inspiration for that show, that's where he got the inspiration. He was writing Bigfoot costumes.
Wow. Way to take Bigfoot into a whole other conspiracy level.
No, you're looking at that Planet of the Apes relation. It's a evolve. It's an evolution of a what is it, a science experiment gone wrong. And then whatever.
Anyway,
Anyways.
so Peterson said that they first gained interest in Bigfoot after reading a True magazine article in 1959. He self-published a book, Do Abominable Snowmen of America Really Exist? In 1966 and 1967, he started filming his photo documentary about cowboys, and this was the main focus of his filming when he encountered the Bigfoot. There were people that claim that the film is nothing but a fake. There are witnesses like Philip Morris, the cigarette guy, saying that he sold them the monkey costume. Some say that if it were a monkey costume, there's no way he could have gotten the jawline over the shoulder in that angle to look back at the camera.
I've also seen a really good documentary about the analysis of the film that talks about muscle structure. And in this documentary, they highlighted a growth or a tumor or something on the arm of this Bigfoot. And it really represents like a hygroma or something natural, and it moves with the muscles. I thought that was really interesting.
I should know. I had one. They do move with your arm muscles, and any way you turn your arm, it moves with it. And that's hard to fake.
I agree.
So there are other claims that, he got his height because he's got shoulder pads on, and, there's a lot of claims that it's a guy in a monkey costume with shoulder pads on. And then you have those who say that it's authentic, that there's no way that the muscles could move, that the head could move, that... and so I think we all saw the video or have seen it in the past. What did you guys think of the video?
The only part that bothers me about the video is the stride. The arm swing feels forced. But other than that, there's the muscle structure and the other things. I mean, I've watched the video 1,000 times over the last 40 years. Like, it kind of is what it is. It's either an elaborate hoax or like they caught something
That they were
that they were supposed to. Yeah.
And I think if it is a hoax, it's a hoax done really well.
So one of the experts that I like and have followed with Bigfoot is Jeff Moldrum. He was a professor at the University of Idaho. He just recently passed away. But a lot of his works is specifically on like biomechanics and the way that like your body is structured, how they're bipedal, so that 2 foot upright walking animals, humans, whatever, how they move and structure. So like he's been on a lot of podcasts and stuff talking about these theories, and that's one of his is doesn't necessarily falls that it's a human in a suit, because it doesn't necessarily move the way a human would. There's some inconsistencies with the gait and the stripe, but he also falls into that, I would say, my camp of we can't just throw it away. We need more evidence to study more if this is actually a person in a suit or if it's an animal, and there's just not enough information on that film to get anywhere conclusive.
Well, I think that comes to a very significant point of evidence, right? If there are these giant ape-like creatures roaming around our mountains, where are the remains?
And that's one of the things that he purported as well, is if there are these bipedal human-like creatures, where are they living? Where are they hiding? Where's the evidence of them?
I think if they're intelligent, they will decide when they're found. It's not necessarily we're going to stumble across them and they're there. I also feel like if they're intelligent and they're not wanting to be found, they're going to dispose of their dead in a manner in which they won't be found. But then you come across all the legends across the Southwest of giants and caves.
See, and there's lots of stories of giants, and we covered that in a previous episode too. Giants.
So, are these giants, or are these
Well, I
our
mean,
illustrious Bigfoot?
6 foot or 6'7" could be tall for a Bigfoot. We don't know. What
I mean,
if,
I'm 6'4". Like, that's only a couple inches taller than I am.
right?
But I would say 6'7" for a person is
That-
extremely tall.
That's
I have a
tall.
friend who's 6'7", and he's huge.
I know a guy I work with who's almost 7 feet. It's insane.
That's Reed. He's almost 7 feet. He's huge.
One of our other friends, he's a little bit taller than Reed and big dude.
Well, we have cousins that are over 7 feet.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. We have a 4'11" great grandma, and her grandkids are over 7 feet
I think
tall.
the tallest one's like 7'3", 7'4".
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
So could they be like humans though, where average height for a Bigfoot is only, 6 foot tall, and so when you find the remains, they're human bipedal remains.
I don't think
But
we're
there,
gonna.
there's other things too. Like if we're looking at it, if we think it's like this ape-like man, there's other parts, bone structures that are going to be different. So when we look at like the bone structure of a human versus like a Neanderthal, there are a lot of similarities, but there's also vast differences, and a lot of that has to do with how we live, what we eat, where we live, what we eat.
Their bone
all sorts
density
of
was
stuff.
almost double our bone density.
Yeah.
Like their jaw density was almost double our jaw density. Their skull structure was twice as thick as ours, right? So you're going to see a very big difference between an ape-like creature and a human. The skeletal structure will be extremely
Is
different.
that even looking through like the span of different hominids too, looking at like a Lucy versus you, there's a huge difference, not just in size. Lucy's very much more ape-like in stature and in build. There's a difference in variance. So I don't think you'd be like, oh, they're human bones. I don't think you're going to see that mistake or that mistaken.
I was reading a really interesting article last week about the Neanderthal actually being more like the orcs from the Lord of the Rings than the dumbed down hillbilly looking thing that the media presents. They're big, they're strong, they're fast, they're
intelligent.
Yeah, they're intelligent.
And so there's some stuff that also came out. They were able to 3D print a hyoid bone, and they actually able to say that they could make sound, they could talk. Where previous thought as Neanderthals, that's not a thing.
Right.
That's,
Just really cool stuff.
that's like I've been watching the show called The Alaskan Killer Bigfoot. I'm just throwing it in. It's an interesting show because they do bring that stuff up. Because they hear a whole bunch of things, and then they have a lot of things happen to them. But that's one of the things that they always see is that trees are moving, big trees, not small trees, big trees. Trees are tipped over. They find this big clearing, and they're like, "What could this be?" they believe it could be its hunting ground, kind of like.
What, Chris? What is the clearing? Like you say, they found a big clearing. What is this big clearing?
It's like a big field, almost like a grazing area for animals and stuff.
Okay,
so you have you're in the forest, and then there's a clearing. So it's like cleared out area, and then you have the forest line, and then you have some trees that are kind of like tipped over, looking close down into this clearing area to spot animals and stuff like that. They have found animals of like bears that were pulverized. It was the
pulverized bears.
They show it like
gross.
but they show it like it was fresh, but the jawbone was completely like broken and everything. It's an interesting show, not gonna lie. Kind of, and then they hear a whole bunch of like weird noises, hooping or hollering. I don't know how to exclaim it. It just, yeah.
Hooping or hollering, like hillbilly hooping or hollering.
No, like
Rebel yell, because that's some hooping and hollering.
I don't know how to.
Like a primal hooping
Yeah.
or hollering. Like, give me some more. I want more from what you're saying.
I'm trying to think of how they did it. 'Cause
In the show, did they imitate it?
No,
No. They just said it was a hoop and a holler.
they just said it was a hoop or a holler, but that you could
Right.
hear it in the background in the show. But it's TV; they could
editing
fake it,
great.
but who knows? You know, it just. But in this town that they were trying to rediscover, it was abandoned back in 1949 due to claims of Bigfoot killing off people. And that's why everyone left, was because of mysterious killings of people.
So, as far as experiences go, I think the best way to give us an experience is a first-hand experience, and Mark has a pretty awesome first-hand experience with what he thinks is a Bigfoot.
Yeah, so a number of years ago, we were hunting up in an area called the Soapstone Basin in Utah. So we had gone up Provo Canyon towards Heber. From Heber, we went up towards Camas, but instead of turning north towards Camas, we carried on like southeast from Francis to the Soapstone Basin area. We had got there late in the evening. There was a fresh snow covering the ground. We set up our camp. We went to bed for the night, and bright and early, before the sun rose, we headed out on our hike. We kind of had a general area that we wanted to go explore to see if we could find some elk. We had hiked for a few hours down this ravine. We knew this ravine would eventually pop out onto the state road, so that at the end of the day we could be picked up on the state road and taken back to our camp. There was me and my cousin and his wife. We'd been hiking for several hours, and then all of a sudden I stopped because I had heard some branches breaking. My cousin was a few hundred yards behind me. I heard the branches breaking, and then this whoop and call. The best thing I can describe this whoop and call is when you go to the howler monkey exhibit at the zoo. That whoop, whoop. But it was just persistent, this really loud, and it would change sides of the valley or the ravine. So one time it would come from our left, the next time it would come from our right. And rocks thrown, branches breaking. Rather than try and figure out what was happening or what it was, we knew it wasn't elk, because I'd bugled. I'd bugled to call in an elk, and that's what triggered this whoop and this call. We booked it down this canyon. We hiked for another like 2 or 3 hours to get to the bottom. My cousin's wife picked us up and took us to camp, where we promptly packed up and left for home because we were having none of it.
Because much like Sir Robin, you bravely ran away.
Turned our tails and ran.
I would run too.
I mean, we had high-powered rifles, enough to take down an elk. I mean, that's a several 100-pound animal. But I wasn't playing with this intelligent thing that was calling from side to side of the mountain.
When you get the
shepherding.
heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, it was shepherding us down the ravine, being like, you go this way because we don't want you here anymore. It was weird.
Was it all the way down?
All the way down. All the way till we hit the road.
So if I talk to our cousin, he'll confirm this story?
He will, but he'll probably say it was some bird or something. He's like uber skeptic. Uber skeptic. But he can't deny the branches and the rocks rolling down after us and it calling from side to side. So maybe we'll have to call him up and say, hey, dude,
Tell us your
prove or
story.
disprove.
Tell us the
right?
tale.
Tell us.
Tell us the tale.
That's my personal experience with what I am firmly convinced is a Bigfoot. The whoops were too primal. I mean, it could have been a couple of jackasses teasing us off the mountain because we were in their prime hunting area, but I don't think so. That's a lot of effort.
It's a lot of effort.
I don't know. I know some people who are pretty hardcore about their spot.
You're talking like 8 hours of messing with somebody.
I know somebody who would.
Right. I also do, but I don't feel like this is
yeah.
what that was.
Okay. I think that's Bigfoot. Does anybody have any last remarks on Bigfoot?
Well, we haven't decided.
Oh, I guess.
Do
I thought
you believe in Bigfoot, Michael?
I think there's credence to the tale. I think the fact that it's been around for so many years, that so many people have seen a Bigfoot, it's like aliens. It's one of those things that I think there is a possibility of, yes, there is Bigfoot.
I'm going to throw something out there. One more thing. What was the year that we found the Highland or the mountain silverback gorillas?
I have no idea.
It was 1902. So how many years had these gorillas been living off in this mountain territory without being seen or whatever?
And I think
Right?
Also, like, Skeptic Ranch, where a lot of people are seeing it. Yeah, there are places here that are pretty remote, but there's a lot. I would say a lot more people touch that nature versus where you're looking in your dense jungles in Africa with silverbacks.
I feel like there are places in Utah that are just as untouchable as.
And saying like, that's possible too, because right, I'm that fence center. I don't think we have enough evidence to show either way. But if there are like a pocket somewhere, we would see something.
I think Mark is
Whether
right.
it's their trash or their inhabitants or something.
I know there's bobcats in Utah. My buddy traps them. I have never personally seen a bobcat in Utah.
I've never seen one.
I think Mark is right. The
Fair.
big portion of the western United States is it's vast nothingness.
Well-
It's not until you get to the east that it's crowded and
Yeah, like you're talking like far northeast.
far northeast.
Because, like I said, I just drove from Utah to Kansas City, and it's freaking.
It's
nothing.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
So why could there not be stuff in the nothing?
There's like Michael, you can see.
You can
So
see
You
100
can
miles.
see
of
there's
being
nowhere
next
too
to-
high.
Yeah.
In the Midwest, it is flat, nothing.
All the
No.
Bigfoot experiences always happen where there's trees
so we're
or
look-
huge forest
so we're
areas.
looking like Appalachians. We're looking
Alaska,
Rocky Mountains,
because
we're
there's-
looking Cascades. Those are all your mountain ranges or the Yukons.
Yeah.
And again, there's vast
There's
nothing in
that
those.
literally from the Mississippi to the Rockies. There is nothing.
There's nothing there.
Nothing.
I know you haven't ever left Utah in your entire
I
gentle
went
life.
to Canada once.
You went to more mountains.
You
There's-
followed the Rocky Mountains upwards,
Yeah,
bud.
pretty much straight shot.
So when I drove through Iowa, there was a fog in the distance.
Okay, but
It was
I'm saying,
you could see it. It was always like
I'm saying
20 miles
in
ahead.
The
It
trees
looked like a
in the
horror
mountains
movie.
in the
That's called the atmosphere.
It was
the
horrid.
nothing in the trees in the mountains of the west. Why could there not be stuff there?
I'm
And that's what I'm saying. Is
No, there could be, and I'm saying like, I think we'd see a little bit more remnants of something, whether it be they're dead, they're garbage.
What about all the bones they found in the Grand Canyon? Oh, segue. We're gonna pause it there. No, don't stop it. I'm just saying that's a whole nother like side spin. Like there are things that we have found. This is where I get to put my conspiracy hat on.
Go ahead, put on the tinfoil hat.
The Smithsonian.
I will,
is-
and I was gonna say there are things that we don't know because people don't want us to know.
Yes.
And I know it sounds tinfoil hat, but I have a background in history, and there's a lot of stuff that gets put away in drawers because we don't want people to know.
Right. The Smithsonian could make or break our discussion here if they would just be transparent. And I think that's where a lot of this stuff goes. We have these discoveries, they get sent to the Smithsonian, and they get lost in a warehouse that is infested with asbestos, so we can't go there for the next 10 years. What the bullshit is that? Just saying.
Fair.
So okay. You have my opinion. We have Mark's, obviously. Chris, what do you believe in Bigfoot?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Why are you
why.
even asking them this
Yeah.
question?
That's the purpose of the podcast.
But yeah, I believe in Bigfoot. I mean,
And
we may never
Pam,
see
we know
him,
you're
but they're
I want
there.
some more evidence.
you want more evidence.
What would it take for you to be a believer?
I'm not saying that I'm not, but I don't.
For you to close your laptop and say, I am satisfied. She's got the thinking face. on
Yeah, I
people.
know. I got.
I encourage you to watch the show and Exploration Bigfoot. They're good shows. I'm just saying.
Maybe for it to be taken more seriously. And that I think is a big ask because you do have like these shows like Exploration Bigfoot, what
Expedition Bigfoot.
whatever,
Expedition.
Sasquatch Explorer, right? All these things people have talked about it, and it's usually capped with the "let me put my tinfoil hat on."
Well, isn't that a telling sign that they don't want you to believe? Is hey, this isn't to be taken seriously.
That
They're
is-
all crazy. Don't believe this.
But I don't. On the flip side, you also should be like, "Oh, they told us not to believe this, so I believe it." Like,
I'm neither here nor there. Like I said, I've always had a fascination with Bigfoot. I've had
I'm not
my,
saying
my
that
experience.
it's not a thing.
What would it take for you to
I think maybe some more
physical?
physical evidence of.
It's fair.
Like, I pulled up this Dr. Meldrum, and I think he's one who tried to bring some more scientific evidence to it. One of the things he did is he studied footprints. There's some footprints that he would say, like, yeah, this definitely looks like this could have been some sort of bipedal. You can just, because that's what he did. He looked up biomechanics of the castings. You can tell weight distribution. And he's like, there's a lot that I've looked at that have said this is bunk because you can tell that it's not the right size, the weight's not. So I think it being taken a little bit more seriously in the scientific community sense.
Oh, well, the scientific community would actually have to accept it and research it.
I know, and then if you look at him as well, he got tinfoil hat because
Yeah,
you're looking
they
at
always
Bigfoot.
They always get back shelved. It sucks. Anyways, I think we're all in consensus. Like, there's something out there. We would like more evidence. I have my personal experiences where I I get to smile and think I ran into a couple of Bigfootses.
Bigfootses?
The Sam Squanch.
Big feet.
Big Feetses?
Big toe?
How many cups of sugar does it take to get to the
It's an old reference. Okay, any last comments, questions, or concerns?
No.
Well, next week's episode is going to be on local hauntings and personal experiences with hauntings. We are going to release it on Halloween, so that will be a little bit different time frame, but after that we'll go back to every Sunday. Thank you guys for joining us for Cryptid Hauntings. We'll spook you later.
Later.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Cryptid Hauntings. I'm Mike, also known as M. Gardner. As you should know by now, I've written a book, and it will be coming out June of 2026. I would like to share with you a passage from this book, if I may. His eyes were heavy with sleep. Al got a sudden shock as something licked the bottom of his feet. Moving slow as not to startle it, he propped himself up onto his elbow, which caused him a lot of pain. To his surprise, what was licking his feet was a large, multicolored mountain lion. It was bigger than the ones he had seen in the zoo. It was tan and brown and looked like a calico cat. Al's stomach fell about 10 feet. He was petrified with fear. What was he supposed to do in this situation? Trying not to make a sudden movements, Al slowly laid down on his back. His mind blank. Al thought the best course of action was to reach out his mind to see if this majestic creature would mean him any harm. "You are not a normal angel," Al heard a gruff voice say in his head as soon as his mind touched the cat's. "No, I'm not. How can I understand you?" "I'm a Pantera. Any creature of power can understand me." "Are you going to hurt me?" "No, I just needed to get your attention. You may look at me now if you wish." The Pantera purred. That is just a small interaction of the Pantera, a god from another world that El interacts with. El is a young Nephilim whose parents sell his soul before he's born. He is then thrown from the human world into a world of monsters, angels, and demons that he knows nothing about. His one goal, the one thing driving him to face this world, is his soul. Where is it? Where can it be found? Would you brace hell and back for your soul? Come with me on this journey and see what lengths El will go to find out where he belongs in the world.